The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Cypress Trails families. I'm going to call the meeting to order. 6 o'clock. Let's see. Hopefully that goes away. It does. Okay, it's 6 o'clock, and this is the Monday, October 7th, 2024 meeting of the Village of Royal Palm Beach Education Advisory Board. And as we start every meeting, please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And now we'll do the roll call.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Chairwoman Jennifer Sullivan.
Here.
Vice Chair Nisha Mitchell. Here. Nancy Panay.
Here.
Paula Wilson.
Here.
Erin Franklin.
Here.
Sergio Herrera. Here. Alexa Acosta. And Vice Mayor Jeff Amara. Here.
Okay, thank you. Well, welcome again, everyone. Thank you for braving the calm before the storm and being with us tonight. And our first presentation is by Cypress Trails Elementary School Principal, Mr. Bruce Salter. Please join us.
All right, good evening, everybody. It is my pleasure to proudly present to you Cypress Trails Elementary School. I always think of this as like a State of the Union address as the principal that, annually, I get to present to you all the great things happening at our school, to share, our successes, to also share our improvements, things that we're working on. So tonight I don't come alone, and I'm super excited to introduce you to some of our staff that are very pivotal at our school, but also our students that are leaders on our campus. I just want to start off by thanking you all for your support. Thank you to Miss Andrews, our school board member, who is our ultimate cheerleader, and as you could see is even wearing her house shirt tonight, because she did spin the wheel recently, and she's now a proud member of the Sole Vare house. We have Dr. Green and Miss Wetzel, Miss Haynes from the regional office, who just, provide, what do we call it? Loving pressure, I think is what we've used before, which is that combination of leadership helping us to grow, but doing it with love and understanding. Also my colleagues here tonight, the new principal at Royal Palm Beach High School, Dr. Robinson, Dr. Nance, Dr. Amato, Mrs. Getty from Royal Palm Beach Elementary School. I just couldn't thank them enough for their support. We truly are, a village raising our children together, and we support each other. So I'm going to first just start by, giving you, a little bit of get to know us. Some of you may not have been on the board last year or in previous years, but of course, we change every year. So I definitely want to share, with you, where we are right now currently. So right now, we have 533 students. Since I took over, this is my 7th year at Cypress Trails, we've increased our population by 110 students. So it's wonderful. We now have an attendance clerk who greets everyone in the front office that we didn't have, because you don't get that position if you don't have 500 students. So it's been a wonderful addition to our school to grow. We've welcomed families from, around the village, and also we're a choice school, so, we've welcomed some families from outside the village as well. We are a Title I school. We've been a Title I school for the last 7 years, not including this year, so really it would be 8 years because we were Title I for 1 year before I got there. So as a Title I school, I mean, I like to think that it would be hard-pressed to find another elementary school that uses their funds as effectively as we do, and I'll share here in just a second why. But we're grateful for that opportunity, and we recognize that, you know, our families are dedicated to their child's education, but there are always going to be circumstances that, you know, our students are going to need a little bit more support, and that's why we use our dollars, you know, very strategically to try to support them. And a large majority of our money is spent on additional staff, which we're very fortunate that we're able to have on our campus. So one of the reasons why I believe that we are, you know, one of the most effective Title I schools is because if you were to, and this again, this is a Bruce Salter data point, it's not the school districts, but I've been tracking it because that's what we as principals do, we track everything. So for the last 7 years that we've been Title I, if you were to take all the schools, elementary schools in the district that have been Title I for those 7 years in a row, we're the only one to have kept our A for all 7 years. So I think that that's really impressive, and it just means that we're using the money that we're given effectively, but it's so much more than just those additional dollars that go into that, and I'm excited to share that with you tonight. So you'll see here our school grade history. This just, you know, goes back to the 2017-2018 school year. So you'll see we've kept our A. 1920 was COVID, so we ended school early that year. 2021, 21-22. Then if we get into last school year, not last school year, but 2 school years ago, it was like a baseline year. They switched over, but we did keep our A at 62% that year with no learning gains, nothing but proficiency, but it was an unofficial school grade. And then I'm proud to announce that this past school year, we kept our A, but as you can see, we're trending back up towards where we were in 2017, 2018. 70% is the highest overall school total that we've had since then, and it's just a testimony to the people and to our awesome families and students. So here's a breakdown of our 3 main demographic groups: 43% Hispanic, 27% white, and 20% black at our school. We do have 19% of our students with a disability. We did open this year a new program for children with autism. We've always had a program for children that are able to work in a regular classroom, but just with different supports like social skills and things like that. But this year we opened up a classroom, and we're looking to open up a second classroom where we have students who have more profound needs and need to have those in a classroom. So we're excited about that. We've worked really hard, and I believe have done the best job that we could to try to fully include them in our campus, including the house system. That was one of the greatest opportunities, was to go in and to have them spin the wheel, and I'm so excited to have them on our campus and to welcome those families, several of which are our current families, but just have a child that needs that. So instead of that child leaving our school to go to a different school, they can now stay at our school with their siblings. 16% of our student population are emergent language learners. Like I mentioned earlier, we're an environmental STEM choice program. At the elementary level, it's not only a select population, our whole school, but it does offer that opportunity for families that can provide their own transportation to come to our school through a lottery system. And I just want to share this because it is so powerful. You know, our teachers are the reason why we've kept our A for so long. Our teachers are the reason why we're growing and being successful. And you'll see that we have 0% of our teachers teaching students with a level 1 or a level 2 last school year who have 0 to 3 years experience. And this is in grades 3 through 5. So we've got, you know, we strategically try to place students with teachers that are effective, are reading endorsed in some cases, but also have that experience. And then I'm sure this is true for, you know, my neighbors in the community as well. But a large range of our teachers have more than 7 years experience. And so that's something that we're extremely fortunate to have, is that we have such a large percentage of our teachers who, you know, in some ways started their career here in the village and are spending their whole career here. And it just gives us that advantage to build on that momentum every year. So like I mentioned earlier, I have guests with me tonight. So the main part of our presentation, and I put this first because I also want our families to be able to choose if they want to go home later, because we might, you know, there is school tomorrow. So, but I wanted to showcase what is the heart of our school. And that is our Ron Clark Academy house system. For those of you who may not know about it, I'll just give a brief slide overview. So the general philosophy is that the houses at our school make up smaller communities where staff and students belong. And our goal is that students and staff feel a sense of community, they feel a sense of belonging. And that is something that can span from kindergarten all the way to 5th grade, into our staff, into our faculty. We have 4 different houses, and each house represents different traits, a history, traditions. These houses were created by Ron Clark, the founder of the Ron Clark Academy. His school in Atlanta has been open for about 18 years. And he brought this concept to his school. He first started it like when he was a teacher, but he brought it to his school, and you know, now his school is the epicenter, one of the epicenters of learning. You know, it's like, you know, it's like teachers going to Johns Hopkins doctors going to Johns Hopkins, you know, to learn and to study. Teachers go to the Ron Clark Academy. So it's really an amazing system. And what's beautiful about it is that we get to make it our own. You go there, they're a private school, you see things that, okay, we can't do because we're a public school. But with great leadership comes the ability to take it and then to make it your own and to make it into what your school needs. And that is what I'm confident that we've been able to do in just, you know, not even a year and a third yet. So the houses offer competition, very healthy competition, but still competition, camaraderie, collaboration, communication, connection. And then this is our logo, or one of our logos, and it has all 4 of our houses on here. So you'll see tonight, you'll learn about those houses a little bit and get to meet the leaders behind them. One of the main driving parts of our house system is our points. So students earn points for going above and beyond expectations. It's not just for walking quietly in the hallway. It's for being you know, beyond safe, beyond respectful, beyond responsible, doing things that they aren't asked to do, but instead that they demonstrate. So our teachers would give away, you know, let's say 1 point based on an act, but it's also based on the duration of the time. So it was a moment in time, it was, you know, a tremendous act, that would be 1 point. And we typically give house points in 1 point increments because, you know, that's what a majority of our day is. And we want teachers to be able to use those to empower students. For example, up here, teachers might also give a point like for winning a game in class, so it does drive competition, and you know, games are a great way to help students learn. Also, on a monthly basis, then we would get into like 2-point increments. So we use iReady, very, very dedicated to using iReady at our school, and our house points drive that. So a month's worth of iReady goals is worth 2 points. So we've got a trimester for the honor roll, for example, that would be worth 5 points. And for the whole entire year, let's say to make a learning gain on their end of the year reading test, that would be worth 10 points because it's taken them all year to earn that recognition. So we have used this to shape, okay, what were we currently doing and how can we use this to drive positive recognition of students for behavior, for academics, but also we get really creative. We give house points at field day. If, whichever, Nuka Mori, our Purple House, if they win the relay race, they get a point. We use it for talent show. We use it for art contests. We use it for different ways because we want students to be recognized for their different creative abilities as well. And so you'll see up here that this is an example of our app. We use an app designed by the Ron Clark Academy, but this is displayed in our cafeteria. It's displayed in our main hallway, and the teachers pull it up. But this is so powerful that when a student earns a house point, if they're the most recent member of their house to earn a point, they get their picture appear on the leaderboard. And it's been really cool because some of our teachers, have children at our school, and I've seen them take pictures when, like, miraculously both siblings are up here at the same time. I know, our assistant principal, Mrs. Hall, has taken pictures when, her daughter pops up. So it shows a lot of pride, too, that, that our children earn that and that they get, their picture displayed. And the students are looking at this daily. So at the end of last year, what I want to do now is just kind of give you, because I presented in December of last year, so I just wanted to let you know how did the year end. So we had our end of the year celebration. One of the beautiful things about being so small is we can fit 533 of us in our courtyard. And so we had our end of the year celebration where we are celebrating just a year's worth of success. And what we did was we recognized students for earning points for the whole year, and we did it by grade level and by house. And the student who had the most points on their grade level in their house became the MVP. But we recognized the top 5 because, it takes a lot of work to do that. But I just want to point out, this is kindergarten versus this was 4th grade last year. Our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders have a lot of opportunities to earn points, right? They're taking more tests. They, are leaders of our school. But to have a kindergartner who earned 90 points is really, really remarkable. And you see like our 4th grade MVP for this house got 117 points. But we really wanted to do this as well because we want students to set goals for this year. We wanted, them to be like, okay, I got 3rd, right, last year, and I know who got 2nd and 1st, and now, right, that friendly competition, I want to try to now be the MVP next year. So we want to build that in and kind of build that tradition each year. This is just crazy. 29,242 total house points were earned last year. A lot of those come from that system that we talked about. 10 house points at the end of the year, 5 house points for the middle of the year, but also the day in, day out, teachers giving 1, 2-point increments for just the amazing things that are happening in their classroom and around the school. So last year, our 4th place house with 7,010 points was Unraka. So congratulations to them. Get your paws out, right? Get your paws out. All right. So congratulations to Unraka. 3rd place last year was 7,206 points was Sole Vare, right? Sole Vare, Sole Vare. All right. 2nd place last year, with 7,234 points was Nuka Mori. Fly, dragons, fly. Fly, dragons, fly. And the House champions last year with 7,792 points is Protos. And what's so cool is we do our cheers, we do our chants, but what's really cool is, we can't talk in the hallway, but it's really cool to just walk by kindergartners, right? And they're giving you like their hand signals, and it's just community. That's all I can say is that it's a community, it's a family. So congratulations to Protos. We had an end of the year party for them last year. And one of the best things that we got to do last year was to crown new house leaders for this year. And what's been so powerful about this is that they have so much more ownership now because they saw it in action for a year, and then in April, put their best selves forward to say, like, I want to be a leader. So the process is that they make a presentation of some sort, and then within their house, so Nuka Mori, the Purple House, only those fourth graders, and then the house leaders from that current year who are fifth graders get a chance to vote on who they want to be the new house leaders. And then we, as the house council, which is a group of teachers and I and Mrs. Hall, we look at the top votes, and then we're able to select the final two based on that. We always honor at least one of the two student votes, and then we also look at other factors, for the second house leader as well. So for this year, we had, and then you could see all 8 of them right here with Mrs. Hall and I, but congratulations in Nuka Mori. We have Takarius and Gianna who are here tonight. Congratulations. We have Marley and Skylar, who represent Unraka, who are here tonight. We have Ethan and Ella, congratulations. Representing Protos. And representing Solevare, we have Kenley and Mason, so congratulations to them. And one of the best moments last year, and I'm horrible at secrets, but we did it. And families, you guys, congratulations for keeping your secrets, is on the day that we announced our house leaders, we had all 8 of our families there, and all 8 of our families are here tonight as well. And it was just beautiful to see the surprise and have the family come out and be there with them. That was just so powerful, and I know it meant a lot to Mrs. Hall and I, because that was literally, pretty much 10 months since we first went to Atlanta to start this journey, and to have such a powerful moment was really, really cool. So what I want to do tonight is hand the microphone over to them. I first want to introduce, I do have some of our staff here with us tonight. So I first and foremost want to introduce Mrs. Lauren Hall. She's our assistant principal, and she's our house lead, and I think I speak for the two of us. We're very similar. We both started teaching when we were 22. This is our 20th year, I think, both in the district. But I think we both needed this. As leaders, you have to reinvent yourself, or you aren't effective. You have to try to find new things to keep yourself motivated, because you are the most important. One of the most important factors of the school. If we're not at our best, our teachers aren't going to be at their best, and the students and families aren't going to, be supported. So we both have embraced this, and I just wanted to say thank you to Mrs. Hall, because especially her. She's really embraced this and led this on our campus. We have leaders of our houses tonight. So I have Mrs. Camille Smith. She's the leader of Unraka, and she's our school counselor. Also, we have Mrs. Samantha Warner. She's our Nuka Mori team leader. And also Mrs. Francina McGuire is here tonight. She's Solevare's House Leader. So, you know, one phrase that they have at the Ron Clark Academy is to get your six. Like, get 6 people who can lead this and start this on your campus, and we had 6 of us. It was, you know, we're missing one of us tonight, Mrs. Grace York. The 6 of us went to Atlanta. Our flight got canceled. We rented a van and we drove home. It was a crazy experience, but we bonded over it. And let's just say I've listened to enough Taylor Swift in my an 8-hour drive home from Atlanta. But we like that gave us that connection to do this work together. And it hasn't been easy. The first year's a really heavy lift for anything that you do. So I want to welcome our first house leaders to come up. Let me see if I can like move this back a little bit. There you go. And you guys can come on up. Nuka Mori, Gianna, and Takarius. Oh, guys, come over here to the microphone. Okay, go ahead.
Where do we do it? Oh, yeah. My name is Gianna,
My name is Takarius.
and the way that I think this house system impacted our school is that kindness is like the best. It's always like the answer to everything, I feel like, and it can definitely help with students' behaviors and things to make them more like, help me out. Motivated. Also, it impacted our school by making everybody closer, kinder, and obviously motivated. It lifted everybody's school spirit to make them more involved and feel like they are actually a part of the house system. And not only that we are the house leaders, but they can also be a leader if they show respect, kindness, and like pretty much the definition of all the houses.
It motivated everyone to be kind and work together.
In my opinion, it personally affected me because it made me feel like I have a supported system and that I can feel like everybody is there for me. Like I can rely on the house leaders to be there for me if I need something. It also, it made me feel like I was actually needed and like a part of it, a part of this house system, because then people can look up to me as the leader to like motivate the kids to like do good things, be kind, and be respectful and safe. And I can just, it just makes me feel good to be able to be one of the leaders to somebody else.
It personally affected me when everybody showed kindness to everybody and respect to others. If you don't know them, still show kindness to them. For example, like those new teachers that is new here, but still show kindness to them. 4 houses and 1 line family. Thank you.
Awesome. I can tell you guys, you can practice as much as you want, but until you get up here, it is nerve-wracking. So next up from Unraka, we have Skylar and Marley. Come on up, girls.
My name is Marley. And I'm Skylar. And we're the house leaders in Unraka. How it impacted the school is it creates a sense of unity for people to work together and have fun and have like fun activities to like be kinder as Mikomori and like unite together as working together. And it also helps like kids be helpful during like activities or like homework. Like when teacher says, "Oh, do your homework as groups," it allows people to be more kinder and work together.
For me, we personally think that our peers, it has united all our peers to work together no matter what house, to work together as a family. And I have been impacted so much. I have learned to be a leader for my house, and I've gained confidence to be a house leader and to do all these fun things with my peers. And I think the house system is a great thing for all schools.
It personally affected me because it allowed me to feel more loved and supported, because when I first came in October last year, I felt like lonely. Much people didn't welcome me at first, but like coming more into like character and like going in more to what like my character is, being happy, cheerful, like very loud and funny. And when I became a house leader, people like supported me by helping me with stuff, and it made me feel more comfortable being there, and it felt like it gave me a sense of belonging. And it gave me the courage to be very loud, very cheerful, and made me feel more supported and loud. Like we do assemblies, and it's like I scream my lungs out for it. And it gives me a chance to be more helpful to kids and myself, because at first I never had courage in myself to do anything. Like feeling like the sense of belonging at the school, it gave me courage to be more like loud and funny, and yeah.
So what's really cool is that both Gianna and Takarius have been at Cypress Trail since kindergarten. Skylar and Marley both were new to our school last year as fourth graders. So it just goes to show it's not seniority, it's not how long you've been there necessarily, it's that, yes, that is part of it because you're building that trust. We talk about that a lot with our third and fourth graders now, especially, right? Like how you're acting in our house meetings, how you act every day is building that trust in your leadership if you do want to become a house leader. But also girls like Skylar and Marley, they're brand new to our school, but if they have that desire to be a leader and the house system is working for them and like Skylar said, giving them that courage because they're new to our school, that's so powerful as well. So it's kind of cool to see those two different dynamics. All right, next up is Protos, Ethan and Ella. Come on up.
Hello, my name is Ella.
And my name is Ethan.
And we're the house leaders of Protos. How we think that the house system has impacted the school is it made students feel connected and gave them a way to make friends. It makes them feel excited to come to school.
For our peers, it encourages them to be positive and earn house points. It creates a sense of confidence for students. Me personally, I think it made me think positively and motivate me to earn house points.
For me, it gave me a sense of belonging, and I love earning house points. It creates a sense of competition for me. Thank you.
All right, and last but not least, the current leaders of this school year, right? Sole, Vare. All right, the current leaders in house points is Kinley and Mason. Come on up.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm Kinley.
And I'm Mason.
the house system has impacted the school by giving the kids something to look forward to and something to be excited about at school.
It impacted our peers and it made students have better behavior. It made them excited to see who's in the lead with house points.
It also really allowed me to connect to the school and find happiness, because usually it takes a lot to be happy at school. But you have to look forward to it every day because it's good education.
It made me more motivated to do bigger things and positively influence other kids to make me feel like I'm a house leader. Thank you.
Oh, one more thing. Okay. Oh, what? Look at this. It's a surprise. Okay. Well, I want to go back real quick to Mason. Mason, that's very honest of you, and I wish that but that's exactly what this is. Like, this is school can be challenging. It can be monotonous, and our students, our children have to find connection points to school. That's what we talk about with middle school. They have to get involved in activities and clubs and sports. At the elementary level, that's sometimes hard to do because we don't have all of those sports programs and things like that. So that's so powerful, and that's what we want. We want that feedback to know that, hey, this is a good thing that we're doing, simply because it makes school more fun. So I thank you all so much. I especially want to thank Mrs. Camille Smith. She's our school counselor. She's also leading a district initiative this year. She's leading a district initiative called the Student Voice Initiative, and it's really trying to give students a voice, to give feedback, to drive leadership in schools. And so she meets with them every week. And so over the last few weeks, she's been working on this with them. So thank you, Mrs. Smith. And thank you, guys. And talk about school being boring. Next is academic data review. So this is this is a good opportunity, families. It is getting a little late. I thank you all so much. I have to stay and work, but if you guys want to go out and enjoy, your company outside, you're more than welcome to. If you want to stay, you're more than welcome to stay, but it's totally up to you. I want you guys to be able to get home. So I'll take a brief, few seconds if you guys wanted to.
Principal Salter. I just want to say thank you for all of the.
Everybody, pause up.
I just wanted to say on behalf of the Education Board, congratulations on being house leaders. We're very impressed by your presentation. I could tell your parents are very proud of you. So keep up the good work. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, yeah, interesting takeaways. Belonging, kindness, loudness.
What'd you say?
I said interesting takeaways. Belonging, kindness, loudness, all takeaways, all good things. A lot of fun, energy. Looks like it's working.
And I made a joke about this being boring. I mean, we talk about this with our students. So much of what we do is data-driven, and one thing that we've tried to do is take our points data and use it to drive student motivation. We talk about, hey, Nuka Mori, you are in third place, but look, in fourth grade, iReady, you just got the most points, right? So that's an area where, hey, let's keep using iReady to try to drive more points. So I just want to share, I'm going to try to be quick. I just want to share with you, where we are. And I'm so proud. We have so many great things to celebrate, but we are definitely not taking any of it for granted. We are a small school, so part of what I'm going to share with you is the hard dedication of a small group of individuals. We cannot hide ineffective teachers at Cypress Trails. We have to hire smartly. We have to empower our great teachers to be their best, and we also have to support if, especially our newer teachers need it. The data you're gonna see is reflective of 2 or 3 teachers per grade level. So it's really, really, important, and I just wanted to bring up that point. It is a very, very difficult job, teaching at a smaller school, because again, like I said, your main reading on a certain grade level is really in the hands of 2 people in the classroom level. So that is something that we definitely are, continuing to keep in mind, to be sure that we don't relax, because we have to keep getting better. So 3rd grade reading is, now its own cell when you look at our school grade data. So 2 years ago, we were only at 49% of our students scoring a level 3 or higher. That was still 2 points higher than the district. 3rd grade reading was 2 years ago and still is a key. But last school year, we jumped all the way to 69%. Again, that is the hard work of a lot of people. I mean, that's kindergarten through 2nd grade. Those are interventionists all over campus. But it comes down to 2 really amazing classroom teachers for reading, and we empower them, we give them the professional development that they need, and I always say one of the most powerful things as a principal is to say yes. Or, how can I pay for it? Let me try to find it for you. Those are things that we really try to do. So we invested a lot of energy last year into 3rd grade and empowered the teachers, and you'll see, we are 15 points higher than the district. We're tied for 4th in our local schools of, Wellington and Royal Palm Beach. And when you take out the students who weren't there all school year, because they don't count for our school grade, we actually were at 72% of our final 3rd grade total. And another powerful number is that we decreased our level 1 students by 15%, which, that's life-changing, the data that is behind being retained and it leading to, academic success in the future is not that strong. And so when you can help students to not be retained in 3rd grade and do everything you can to support them, you're possibly changing their life. So that's really, really important work. Our 4th grade reading 2 years ago, we were at 60%, which was 3 points higher than the district. Last year, we did drop 1 percentage point, but as you notice, we're now 7 points higher than the district. So 4th grade reading was an area that I think the district dropped a little bit in, but we ranked number 5 out of our local schools there. But when you did, factor in the school data for school grade, we were at 62%. That's our target. Obviously next school year, our target's going to be higher because we had so much success last year. But 62 is a golden number. That's the A. You want to be sure all of your areas are at least 62. So 4th grade, in football, you always want to win the battle in front of you, block the person in front of you. 4th grade, they blocked their person in front of them. They helped contribute to our A by getting 62%. Grade 5 was at 60% 2 years ago. Last year we went up to 65%. Now you can see how strong, our local schools, guys, are amazing. It's just, there's so many great things happening in so many schools. So to go up 5 points and to still be number 7 locally in 5th grade says a lot about the quality of our schools. But that did equate to being 66% of our school grade total. So if we look at learning gains, this is where, just a quick, brief 10-second explanation. A learning gain is a student who took the test previously, and did they, if they were a level 1 or 2 student, they have to grow to another sub-level or to a new level. If they're a level 3 or 4 student, they have to keep a 3 or a 4 but grow in points, which can sometimes be hard to do because the scales change each year. And then if they're a level 5, they just have to keep their 5, because that's hard to do, is to keep a level 5 student. So, and I think this, because of the, I was working in Google. I'm just going to get creative here. You guys will get what I'm saying. All right, we'll figure it out. I was working in Google Slides, so sometimes it doesn't always carry over. So we were at 100% of our third graders. We only had 3 of them last year, so all 3 made a learning gain. We were at 69% of our fourth graders making a learning gain, and 81% of our fifth graders last year made a learning gain in reading. That was 75% overall, and that placed us number 2 out of all the schools in the Wellington, Royal Palm Beach area. So we're really proud of that. That's that work of the interventionists, from our ESOL teacher to our ESC teachers to kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. It is really difficult for a student to make a learning gain year after year, and it takes a lot of intervention, to do that, or it takes a lot of high-level rigor in the classroom to help that level 4 keep their 4. Or to grow. So that's huge. 75% is I'm so impressed. If we're looking at our lowest 25% learning gains, we were at 100% of our third graders again, so 3 out of 3. We were at 67% of our fourth graders, and then we were at 90% of our fifth graders. I mean, that is tremendous. And, one of those teachers was here tonight. She's now our SAI teacher, so she's doing that work now on a bigger scale and helping with professional development as well. But overall, we were at 83%, and that was the number 1 rank for Wellington and Royal Palm Beach schools. And again, I'm a principal, I keep track of things. It's the 2nd highest in the whole district. So I'm really proud of that. Don't say anything, Ms. Haynes, to anyone, but it was the 2nd highest. I mean, I'm so proud of that. And that is work of not just 1 year, but it's a whole, you got COVID in there. That's just really, really, makes me proud. So then looking at our math this year, our 3rd grade math students were at 65% 2 years ago, and we grew to 68%. Again, 3rd grade math, to be only 7th to grow is impressive for our whole area. That equated to 71% once you did the calculations. Our 4th grade math. So this is going to be one of our main areas, and I spoke earlier about being a small school. When you are a small school and you have someone take a leave of absence, it makes a big impact on your school in the middle of the year. You do your best to try to set up a plan, and sometimes the plan doesn't work and you have to make another plan. So our 4th grade math last year had some instability during the middle of the year, and I'm proud of them for trying to right the ship. But this is definitely an area where we solidified with a veteran teacher in 4th grade this year to take the place of the teacher who's on the leave of absence. And we're already seeing in our first units data that we're catching back up now. We're now equal again with the district in 4th grade math. So, but we did drop down to 46% of our students, and these are students who take 4th grade math. This did not include our advanced math students, but we're 4 points lower than the district, and we're 12 points lower than the state. Now, the state does not have advanced math everywhere like we do, So essentially the top 25% of our fourth graders are taking fifth grade math, but still, you know, we need to do better. But that instability, it was challenging. So we've already, you know, we're supporting our fourth grade more this year. We're giving, you know, that professional development and support them. But just having a solid veteran teacher back in fourth grade again to support our other veteran math teacher, team leader, that's making a huge difference already. But if you did include our other class of fourth graders who took fifth grade math, our overall proficiency was 61%. So it's not, you know, you look at that and you're like, okay, well, 61%, yes, we can do better, but overall our fourth grade is a focus. And that's part of our, one part of our school improvement plan. We had fifth grade math. We were at 66% 2 years ago and 100% in our sixth grade, where we have students taking sixth grade math. This past school year, we jumped to 77%, and that did include our fourth grade AMP students who take fifth grade math. That's 19 points higher than the district. So our fifth grade math team is comprised of veteran teachers who are getting better each year, who are building, you know, that strong fluency for their instruction. That's number 4 still. Again, I mean, that's crazy. Like our area is so strong, like that we're ranked 4th at 77%. It's hard to see, but our sixth grade math students, again, 100% of them got a level 3 or higher on their sixth grade end of the year math test. So if you look at our math learning gains, we were at 100% of our third graders again. We were at 48% of our fourth graders, and again, that is an area of focus. Our math learning gains is our school improvement goal for academics this year. But we were at 87% for fifth grade. And so that put us at 68% overall for math learning gains, which ranked number 5 in our local schools. And then our lowest 25% math gains, we were at 100% for third grade. This is the number that keeps me up at night, but I have great faith in my fifth grade teachers this year. Only 33% of our lowest 25% math students made a gain. It's really difficult to help math students make gains when they have so many holes. It's not like reading, where reading's kind of like you pick up where you left off and you're building on it. Math is, okay, 1 year you go from doing multiplication in third grade to now you're doing long multiplication in fifth grade. And if you didn't master that third grade, the basics of multiplication, it's going to be really difficult to do longer multiplication. So to help a level 1 student get from, you know, a level 1 to the next level or a level 2 with those holes is really difficult. But having the instability in our fourth grade instruction definitely hurt that. But if you look at our fifth grade, we had 81% of our fifth graders make gains. So I'm confident that the fourth graders who are now fifth graders are in great hands. Our fourth grade is more stable this year. But overall, we still were able to manage 60% in our lowest 25 learning gains, and that was still number 7 in our local schools. But that is our school improvement area. In science, we were at 62% 2 years ago and 64% this past year. Maintaining right about 11 points higher than the district. If you were to factor in, though, some fifth graders who didn't count, that raised us to 68% as our final school grade total. And I just want to mention that, you know, this is a 9% increase since 2018. We have invested our Title I dollars into supporting science on our campus, K-5. Every student K-5 takes science as a part of their fine arts wheel. And the teacher is a veteran expert teacher in science, and she collaborates with K through 5 to reinforce what they're working on. She does vocabulary games for house points. We're strengthening a lot of areas there, and it's been able to help factor in more science support in an area where, you know, you have to go out to recess every day, right? So you have to take that from science. And our fifth grade is trying to do math and science together. There's a lot of factors, so to have her now for 6 years or so has been great, and we've seen a nice steady increase, but also, we're working to try to get higher than that. I just wanted to share with you then, kind of like a district comparison. So 2 years ago, our 3rd through 5th grade English language arts, this was, basically you want to be in the blue. If you're looking at this, the blue area is high performance, meaning that you're above 50% of your students, and you're to the right of 1 year's worth of growth if you were to compare growth to like the whole school district. So that upper quadrant is where you want to be. So 2 years ago in reading, we were right there. And that put us at 13th if we were to rank all the blue dots there, which these are all the elementary schools 2 years ago. That would have put us 13th in the area of growth. So this past school year, again, the blue dots is where you want to be. This year, we moved to there. So as you can tell, we got further to the right, so our growth increased. We also went up a little bit in our proficiency. So if you were to rank all of those blue dots, we're the 4th highest blue dot in growth. So that aligns with the learning gains that we had in reading, but it's just nice to see it in this as well. Like as a principal, you're like, okay, like, that's where we want to be. In math, we were here 2 years ago, so a lot like where we are now in reading. That was the number 8 ranked in the blue dots in terms of growth. But this year we did move to the left. We didn't move down. Our proficiency stayed about the same, but we did move to the left. We're still above a year's worth of growth, but now we would be ranked 38th. So the math, the district caught up. Like the district really made math gains 2 years ago, and we fell back in our growth, and which is even more reason why math is a main focus for us this year. I did want to share, and I'm down to my last few slides, I did want to share the impact that iReady has at our school. So basically what this shows you is the percent of students who are passing at least 70% of their lessons, 7 out of 10 lessons in iReady. iReady is personalized, it's prescripted to them, so it is a very powerful tool to help students who are below grade level, who need extra practice at their level. It also can help students who are above grade level, because it does have a teaching element to it, where they can start to learn some advanced work above their grade level. But 2 years ago, we were at 82% of the whole school passing at least 7 out of 10 lessons, and last school year we grew to 89%. And if you'll look on the right-hand side, you'll see kindergarten went up 7 points, first grade went up 10 points, second grade went up 5 points, third grade went up 4 points, fourth grade went up 3 points, and fifth grade went up 15 points. So that means those grade level averages for what percentage of students are passing a high percentage of their lessons. If they're not passing their iReady, it's not effective. So this is a huge measuring stick for us. And then in math, we had 96% of our students pass at a high rate in math. Last year, we were at 97%, so we actually went up by 1 point. And then if you look to the right, kindergarten dropped by 5 points, but honestly, at kindergarten, 90% is amazing, because right now our kindergartners are having a hard time just logging into their computers. There's so many developmental things. You look at your kindergarten data like now in terms of their passing in iReady versus May, and they just skyrocket. They just need that time to learn how to work on a computer, how to work in iReady. Up 3 points in first grade, 100% in second grade for 2 years in a row. Up 5 points in third grade, up 2 points in 4th grade, and then our 5th grade maintained 95%. So those are data marks that as a principal, I can say, okay, that's one thing that I know is working at my school, is that this lever of personalized individual practice is working. And it's highly incentivized in our house system as well. All right, the last thing is I just want to let you know, like, other things that are happening. So I'm very proud, and we just jumped right on the bandwagon. Same thing for the Ron Clark Academy. It was just an email from the district, and I was like, hey, you guys want to do this? I think we need to do it, right? COVID really took a lot of connection out of the school, and we felt like we really needed to get it back. Same thing for band. We got offered as a Title I school to start band, and we started last year with 4th grade, and you heard some of the acts in December. Now we have 5th grade. So we have now a 4th grade beginning band, and now we have a 5th grade advanced band, and both are happening for free, and they're happening during fine arts, and we got creative with our scheduling to where students are only losing half of their fine arts in the year, meaning that instead of getting PE for a month, they're getting PE once every 2 months. But it's an elective, and they're choosing band, and it's hopefully going to set them up. It's going to make Dr. Nance's band a lot stronger at Crestwood. It's going to set them up, to audition to possibly go to Bach, or, to do things that they want to do to pursue music. And most importantly, it's just making them a more well-rounded person. Esports started last year as well, and I have my ITSA, who's my technology person, and one of my team leaders running esports. They had so many students this year that they had to do 2 sessions, so one until December and then one after, starting in January. They do mostly Minecraft education, but the school district is now going to have its first Minecraft education challenge, where any school that has an esports program is going to compete in a challenge. So I told my son about that last night, and he's already getting eager. And I'm like, okay, all that Minecraft you play at home is going to pay off. But that's really cool. Like, I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. And of course, it's a really big thing in the high schools now. Like Palm Beach Lakes High School, for example, is nationally ranked in their esports program. SECME is science, engineering, mathematics. It's a team competition. Marathon Club, we are going to start soon, as soon as we stop getting the heat index warnings every day at 9 o'clock. But we work towards trying to run 25 miles before January, and then we run the South Florida Kids Mile as the 26th and final mile. And it's just been awesome to have that back at our school, and we started that again last year. Teachers of Tomorrow. What's really cool about this, it's my art teacher who runs it, so that's just really cool to see her stepping in. But she meets with them after school, but then they actually implement the program during the day. So we've been able to partner so that they go into like kindergarten classrooms to do their morning meeting, like skills for life and learning lessons. So that's been a really cool like application of that program. We have a talent show every year at the end of the year. We have art showcases, so we have like 6 bulletin boards in our 400 building, which is our fine arts building, and our art teacher constantly showcases different mediums and different styles of art, but also we have a yearbook cover contest every year. We've got, this year we started GEMS, which is girls in science. It's through the Cox Science Center. So I have my 5th grade, Matt, one of my 5th grade science teachers, she's gonna start that program. So we're getting that off the ground. I also wanna brag, and I'm probably gonna try to dedicate a slide in our future updates. Our after school care program is amazing. We call it Cub Club. But my program director, Miss Alson, is new to us. She came last year after our former director of 25 years retired, and she's brought just like a fresh energy. So we've got clubs that are led by counselors. And I can tell you, I totally relate to those who have to wake up at 6 in the morning to try to go sign their kids up for summer camp and stuff. Same thing was true, and I know, Dr. Amato does this at her school, but the day that the aftercare clubs were released, you know, it was like, oh, I got to go sign, you know, my daughter up for soccer and my son wants to do volleyball. And that's cool that they get to choose that and the counselors are leading it. And that also that she started a Cub Council this year, which is our older students showing leadership in our after-school care program. And she also does extended learning opportunities, bringing in like Kids Jam and, you know, some different organizations to come and do activities on our campus as well. You can connect with us on our Facebook page. That's our main social media that we use. Also our school website. But that is it for tonight. I always, like, how long was that? An hour and 3 minutes. I'm always like, okay, I'm gonna keep it under an hour, but I can't help myself, you know, especially to bring the students. But I appreciate you all. Is there any questions or anything?
Well, I'll open it up to questions from the members. Anyone?
I had a question about the autistic class that you have. Is that part of the choice program for your school, or?
No, it's a part of, if a child who has autism as their primary exceptionality, if their IEP team.
So they're assigned
Correct.
to that by the district?
Yeah, it's based on geography. So the goal is that, you know, you want to try to support your local student. And in our case, like I mentioned, you know, we have a student who has siblings on campus. So instead of that, you know, student needing to maybe go to a school further away to get that support, you know, we opened up that program, but it's also alleviating the fastest growing you know, populations of students with disabilities. You know, especially the younger children are being identified earlier. And, you know, we, you know, needed to open up the program to support, you know, our neighbors.
So you decided to bring it into your school?
No, it was a collaboration between the school district, the region, and our school. Yeah, they're constantly looking at, okay, we need to open up more classrooms because we have more children with those needs in their IEPs. And so, yeah, it was a collaboration. Yeah, I think it's going to end up being that, you know, like I said, autism is one of the fastest growing exceptionalities in our district, and, you know, our local school that hosted those students needed that extra support, and it's been a wonderful experience so far. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if you're going to eventually see, you know, that need grow. I know other schools are opening up new classrooms for children with autism as well. When the population is growing and those students need more support, you know, we have to open up more doors in our district. And again, like I said, it keeps students, families together. I think that's always been a tricky part with exceptional student education, is when a student needs a more supportive environment, oftentimes they may have a sibling, and can that sibling go with them? And in this case, if we have a child who needs it, they can stay, and we do have, you know, some siblings at our school like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, we thank you, Principal Salter. Very good job.
Thank you, guys. I wish you all safety. Be well in the next few days. Okay.
Thank you
all right.
so
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Okay, I know we have some folks from the district, so next up is our report from the Central Region. Ms. Andrews is, who's going to start? Okay, Ms. Haynes.
I must say I'm a little sore from yesterday's run, supporting the Education Foundation. Paying for it today. It's one of those things that, you know, you just do without the appropriate training and then feel it the next day. Yes. Good evening. Always a pleasure to be here to be able to showcase our schools here in the village of Royal Palm. I do want to thank, of course, Mr. Salter for doing such a fabulous job representing and showcasing the great work that's happening at Cypress Trails and their accomplishments, as well as we see Dr. Amato here and Dr. Nance is here representing That's right. And of course, Royal Palm Beach High School, Dr. Robinson over here, Ms. Robinson, representing Royal Palm Beach High School. So we have all three levels here represented this evening. So thank you again for allowing me the opportunity to showcase the great work happening. But before we get started, I just want a friendly reminder that we're in the midst of celebrating our national Hispanic heritage and really just embracing the cultures of so many students within our district. I mean, as you can tell, just at Cypress Trails alone, 42% are Hispanic students. So we are expanding. I am also myself Hispanic, and so as we continue to expand, we want to make sure that we acknowledge our heritage as well as culture. All of our work, of course, as I mention every month, is anchored by our district strategic plan. And you've heard so many highlights tonight from Cypress Trails, but I do want to also ensure that you're aware that they also celebrated the School Custodian Appreciation Day, and that is true from all of our schools in the village of Royal Palm. And later in the presentation, you're going to see a nice tribute to one of our custodians from Royal Palm Beach High School, which is videoed. The video is actually embedded into this presentation. I'm hoping it works. H.L. Johnson Elementary, some of the recent highlights, the announcement of the H.L. Johnson Safety Patrol officers, which is a testament to the hard work and dedication with about 70 patrols to be considered. The voting process involves staff members, teachers, and peers, and then the caliber of the candidates, of course, made it so difficult that they had to add additional sergeants and lieutenant spots. So congratulations to all of the officers, and then you see our students listed there. So we're so very proud of their leadership and the work that they do as a safety patrol. Also, some of the recent highlights, they've been working on those lifelong guidelines and skills for our students. Respectful is being the one that was presented last week, being respectful, and what it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like inside of the classroom as well as outside of the classroom. So that is some of the ways in which H.L. Johnson is assisting our students to be able to be not only taught through the whole child, but be able to make sure that they are doing the very best that they can to be able to continue being respectful, and not only in the classroom, but outside of the classroom, and setting those high expectations. Also at Royal Palm Beach Elementary School, some of their recent highlights, you'll see Ms. Perez there, a kindergarten teacher, and Ms. Albrecht, our behavioral health professional, that they were recently recognized as Royal Palm's Bobcat Teacher of the Year and Bobcat School-Related Employee of the Year. We're in the midst right now of recognizing some of our, what it calls Celebrate the Great here in our district, by recognizing the Teachers of the Years at the different schools, as well as School-Related Employee of the Year, Principal of the Year, and Assistant Principal of the Year, and this is something that we do each year. Also, students can earn those Bobcat Golden Tickets. I think this is one of the best ideas when you have guest teachers in the classrooms, that the students are able to earn those golden tickets by being safe, respectful, and be a learner, especially when we have a guest teacher in the classroom. So those are our young boys and girls that earn those golden tickets. With Crestwood Middle, the recent highlights, on October 2nd, they too celebrated the National Custodian Appreciation Day. We really appreciate the work of our custodians, especially for our students and for our staff. It really just provides them a clean learning environment so that they can learn and really just focus on that. Crestwood Middle, also, it's the start of Start with a Hello Week, and it was awesome, and that was started on September 23rd. The entire student body and faculty participated in those daily activities, which also focused on forming and strengthening positive relationships, advocacy, and support. So each day they had a different theme. It was Meet and Greet Monday, Upstander Tuesday, Wear Green Wednesday, Trusted Adult Thursday, and Moving Forward Friday. Also, they launched their Safe Schools Ambassadors, that initiative, on September 20th. And members were engaged in collaborative sessions with the district's Safe Schools representatives. Students learned how to support their fellow peers using conflict resolution, relationship building, and coping skills. And then, of course, the All-Pro Dad Kickoff. Look at the number of dads that are there at Crestwood. And here we go. I wanted to share with you. I'm hoping, I'm not sure if it's going to show up. Oh, there he is. Okay. So Mr. Wallison is a custodian at Royal Palm Beach High School, and our district actually showcased him. And here we go. Let me see if you can hear this. Oh, here we go. Good. It's going to work. Fabulous. Uh-oh. We need volume. Yeah, the volume's not on. Well, I'm going to leave it there for you to actually see, but he talks about the connection with, beyond, and there's Ms. Robinson, too, sharing some great things about Mr. Wallison, but his connection with the students, and that's basically the gist of it, is that that's why he chose to be a custodian, especially there at Royal Palm Beach High School, because he really enjoys seeing our students outside of the classroom with their athletics, clubs, et cetera. So take a moment, please, and view that beautiful video of Mr. Wallison. And then, in addition to that, Royal Palm Beach High School, some of the recent highlights, there was a generous donation. And actually, tonight or today, I was previewing it for the meeting that's coming up this week. The Education Foundation donated about $30,000 to continue the HVAC program over at Royal Palm Beach High School. So that's going to the board for approval later this week. So this is just amazing work that they're learning. And, a lot of these students actually leave that program and go right into the work field and really make a lot of money. So it's really working out for them and for the community. Royal Palm Beach High School also recent highlights too with esports. That's like the new incoming thing. Their first game of the season ended with a victory at 3-0. Lamar Coleman Williams, Tyshawn Hempton, and Devarius Davis all won in a sweep, going 2-0 in their individual sets. First game of the season starts with a win with the esports. It's an up-and-coming activity. Homecoming 2024 was a huge success. Also, Royal Palm Beach High School students embracing every aspect of high school, from academics to athletics. And then their 10th annual, and this was, like I said, yesterday, so I'm impressed that it made it already to the slide deck for today. I'm not in there somewhere, but I was there. But this was yesterday, what I was referring to, the 10th annual Heroes for Education 5K, which was over at John Prince Park. And there is right there, Royal Palm Beach High School. They're not only participating, but also providing bananas and just being part of that wonderful event. Well, and then that evening, right after the 5K marathon, they went on to a Navy birthday dinner, and Royal Palm Beach High School cadets and Chief Sandoval had a packed weekend, and there they are celebrating for their Navy birthday dinner. And that's it. That's all I have for you for as far as highlights from your Village of Royal Palm Beach schools. Any questions for me?
Any questions from the board? No, thank you for that update.
Okay, so then I would like to invite, of course, Ms. Andrews, school board member that is always on the go, always on the run, especially in the Village of Royal Palm. So here she is.
So much that you were running, so that's great.
Yes.
Okay, and good evening, everyone. Education Advisory Board of the Village of Royal Palm Beach, Chair Sullivan, Vice Chair Mitchell. I want to tell you that It's been a somber time here in the village of Royal Palm Beach, so I want to take a minute to say that you all know that we lost our beloved Mayor Fred Pinto just recently, and I live here in the village, but I want to bring condolences from our superintendent and all of our school board members because it was unexpected, and we come together when things happen. And so I want to say to you that the School District of Palm Beach County is here for the Village of Royal Palm Beach if you are in need of anything as you go through this time of condolence and sympathy, because it does take a lot out of the community when you lose someone who has been with the community so long. And I want to say that living here, I got a chance to see how the spirit of the Village of Royal Palm Beach works together. And I want to thank our vice mayor, but now our acting and interim mayor, Hamera, and I saw his wife out there. You're just awesome. When we come together and love each other, sometimes things happen that we don't control, but we have to come together as a family. So I want to thank you personally for what I saw you do, what I saw the entire Village of Royal Palm Beach Council do, as well as all of you. I saw you in your own respective places, wrapping your arms around the family and letting them know how much you care. And if they need anything, that we are a village of love and support, and we help each other. So I want to take a moment to say that to you, Ms. Hamera, too, as well as everybody that's probably listening. We all came together, but we truly are a great village, doing so many great things, and we will keep that legacy alive of our mayor, our beloved mayor, Fred Pinto. But I want to say tonight I was so impressed with Principal Salter. You are just awesome. When I saw all of the children, they came up to me as I was coming in, and they remembered me because of the Ron Clark Academy and the house system and being over at Cypress Trails Elementary School. They said, Ms. Andrews is here. You're here and you're wearing your shirt. I said, yes, I'm a member. I'm a member of your team. And when you go to the school and see it in action, it was in action tonight. I saw those students speaking, and they are leaders. They're the leaders now as well as the leaders of the future, talking about what it means to come together and be great and work to make sure they help all of the children feel empowered to be whatever they want to be. And I thank you for that, because when I come to your school, I'm always impressed and I'm admired by how you really work with all of your teachers and your staff, and they all feel empowered. And with this Ron Clark Academy and the house system, it's fabulous. Some of you have been there with me, and you can see how great it is. And you know, we came out of the pandemic, and I'm so happy you did it, because it's made a truly a big difference. And to be an A-rated school, and it's a Title I school, and you dig deep to make sure you don't leave children behind. I looked at that data, and I talk to you all the time, and I see you doing that work. And when you say you have great teachers at Cypress Trails Elementary School, you do, because I see you in and out and talking and working and visiting those classrooms. I see your AP, I see your guidance counselors, and when I see all of those clubs that you have, as well as the academic focus, it all comes together because we have to make the total child successful and ready for the future. So I commend you. The data was absolutely great. I mean, you really didn't miss a beat up there, and I love that. And congratulations for all of the things you do. Don't leave this Village of Royal Palm Beach. You're a part of this family. We want you to continue to take care of our children. Let's give him a big hand, because you certainly deserve it. Great tonight. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, it's been tough within the country with Helene. And, you know, right now we're dealing with Milton. And so, you know, so many people lost their lives with Helene. They lost everything. Many of them lost their homes, you know, just didn't survive. And we have to know that we don't control nature. It happens. But we have to come together and support one another. And as we go through these days, these next few days, even though we're on the cusp, we just have to continue to pick up the phone, use our pocketbooks wherever we can to give donations. I loved it when I saw the people from Palm Beach County going to Georgia, going to South and North Carolina, going to North Florida, Pinellas, Hillsborough, all those places that were truly impacted. Schools were closed. It's tough out there, and some didn't make it. They really didn't make it. So we have to continue in prayer and support one another. And I wanted to say to you that, you know, you think about your Superintendent Mike Burke and the administrative team. They're on the ground making sure our children, our schools, and our communities are safe. Right now, we've closed our schools on Wednesday and Thursday, but our superintendent, as well as his leadership team, they're over at the emergency management system in the center with the county, looking at everything that they look at, talking to districts close by to figure out, where is this thing going to land? What will it do to our community? What will it do to our children, our schools, and our families, and making big decisions so that we can keep everybody safe. So I want to commend him because he's on the ground 24/7 with his phone system. All of the administrators, you know this, regional superintendents, you're a phone call away from the superintendent. If we have to open shelters, our schools become shelters. We have to do a lot to make sure we take care of everybody during this critical time that we're in. So we don't know, we just have to continue to pray for goodness for everyone. Some of us will be impacted more than others. Schools will be impacted all over the state of Florida, 51 counties under emergency right here in the state of Florida. So we just have to work together. And when we see that we've made it, think about who didn't or who might need some support and assistance, and let's work together. So I want to thank my superintendent who is calling his school board, and I'm one of them, to say, Ms. Andrews, we're on it. We're going to make sure children are safe. We're not going to have them on buses. When the wind is too great for the buses to be on the road, we have to shut the schools down. We don't want to close schools, but we have to make sure safety is a priority. So I want you to know we have the village of Royal Palm Beach on our mind as we go through this crisis that we're all going to go through, but we're going to work very hard to make sure that our children are safe, our schools are safe, and our communities are safe. Anything that you have for me tonight, I'm willing to answer. But it is a tough time, and I just want you to know that we're all so nervous and worried, but we know that we're going to be okay because we're all going to stick together. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Andrews. I do have two things. One is just a reminder to the principals and to yourself that the Education Advisory Board and the village is here also after the storm to, if you need anything communicated, make sure that you're talking to your liaison. I know Jacqueline is also always available to everyone, just if there's something that you need from the schools. And then the second thing is just a reminder, I think we do have a meeting right before the election, the day before, but is there anything from on the referendum that you want to share out again as a reminder?
Absolutely. I really do want you to know that we appreciate you passing the penny sales tax some years ago. It's going to just expire within the next year, but this half-cent tax will not increase at all because you've already passed the penny, so it's not going to cost you any more money. But when we think about keeping our children safe with school security, when we think about having a police officer in every school, sometimes more than one, when we think about our facilities, making them the best that they can be. I sit in this beautiful facility tonight, and we know we want to have great schools. We want to make sure that children have the best facilities possible. This is what that half cent is all about. When we think about technology now, it's a big deal with AI and everything else. We've got to make sure we don't miss a beat when it comes to making sure our schools are hardened, to make sure that we have single point of entry where we have in most of our schools, but we have to take it to another level. And sometimes you may say, oh, I think we've got it covered, you know, with the Georgia incident where we lost children and we lost teachers. This panic button right here saved lives, and we've had this for a few years now. But as we look at what we need to do as a district to keep ourselves above what's going on, the fray. It's unfortunate people want to do bad things to our children, sometimes to our schools and to each other, that we've got to put our monies in place so that we don't miss a beat, to make sure that we keep up with the very best of everything, to keep our children safe, to keep our academics strong, to make sure that we have the best facilities, and that 1/2 cents, if you just think about us, is going to keep us at the top as we move forward for the next few years. And so we can't go back. We must go forward. So I do appreciate you thinking about us when you go to the polls on November 5th. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for the board? Okay.
Thank you very
Ms.
much.
Andrews. Anything else from any principals before we move on? Okay, kind of wrapping up here. Any school liaison reports from the board? Okay.
Again, I thank you, Dr. Nance and Crestwood, for having me as your school liaison. I enjoyed attending the SAC meeting where I met the other stakeholders and members of the student council, candidates. We discussed the school improvement plan and the FAST testing data. I look forward to the next SAC meeting and being a guest reader for Read for the Record at Crestwood. So thank you again.
I also have something. I have been in communication with Principal Salta, and we're going to work out some dates to do a visit, but I'll also be doing Read for the Record on the 24th.
I attended the SAC meeting at Western Academy Charter School, and they went over the data of the testing scores from last year. Just in general, they said that in 2024, Western Academy Charter School exceeded the achievement average in the state of Florida and the Palm Beach County School District in end-of-course exam scores for civics, Algebra 1, geometry, science, math, and ELA, and they'll continue to strive to exceed these averages in all subjects and grades. And their community involvement goal is to promote parent education in the areas of literacy and mental health, with involvement through activities, resources, and events at school and with local businesses and agencies. And I too will be reading at their school on the 24th.
Thank you. Any other updates of school reports?
I was just going to say, with Dr. Amato, I'll be helping out with the trunk or treat that H.L. Johnson is going to be having on October 18th. So we're looking forward to that. That was a really fun event last year.
Okay. Yes, Councilman Samara.
Yes, let me go ahead and just follow up with the Read for the Record. I'm delighted to hear how many are going to actually be involved. It's going to be a fun time. And Sergio can give us all some lessons on how to dramatically present the material. But I think if you haven't done it before, it's going to be a great experience. I guarantee it, absolutely. And I wanted to say, just following on the comments about the loss of our mayor, Fred Pinto was on the council for more than 20 years. But even before that, he served for 20 years in the Army Reserve, and so he spent most of his life in public service, one sort or another. But more significantly, to those of us that sat next to him up here, the loss is particularly meaningful. And it is amazing to me how much of an impact it's had on us. It really is. He leaves a void. But he also leaves us on a good path, and so now it's up to us to just continue to move forward, and I think we will, and I think if he's looking down, he'd be proud of what we do going forward. But thank you for bringing that up. Really, really do appreciate it. It is a difficult time, but it is a time for us to come together as a community, and I think we're doing that very well. Just a moment of personal privilege. Dedication is really important, and of course we have an audience full of dedicated professional educators, But we also have a woman sitting here who's been married to me for 55 years, and tonight is our anniversary. And so... So we're looking forward to another 55 years. But in the near term, certainly to be involved in Read for the Record again this year. That's something we've enjoyed doing over the last half dozen of years or so. So we really look forward to it. But I just had to mention it to thank her and also to say a little dedication here. This is how we're spending our anniversary. Maybe it's a behavioral thing that we got to have checked out. I'm not sure.
Well, congratulations from all of us, and hopefully you have a nice dinner planned or something. I'll help you out. Okay, unfortunately, I don't think we have Alexa tonight for the Student Council report. We'll look forward to her report next meeting. Any statements from the public? I think we're all amongst friends here. And just our business, that typical business of approval of the minutes from the last board meeting, our Education Advisory Board meeting of September 9th.
Motion to approve the minutes from September 9th.
Can I get a second?
Approved.
Second? Second. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. Any old business? I feel like we've talked about most things. Do you have something? Did you have a report? Jacqueline's asking if you have a report yet. Okay, sorry. Okay. Any new business? Okay, well then I'm going to call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.